Hi, I'm Brett Middleton, and today I've got a video interview with Ian, one of our clients who's got a MY09 WRX, and we've got an opportunity with Ian's come in to spend a bit of time talking about the reasons why he chose to do what he did with his car, and to help you choose with your potential new car, or possibly you drive an MY09, STI or WRX somewhere in the world. So a few questions first, Ian. This is your 9th WRX? Was it WRX or Subaru?
WRX.
WRX. The previous car that you had before this was an 06.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it was an 06 model with a big pipe, or a 3-inch pipe all the way through from the turbo, and some electrical work for a better power source, and I loved it actually. I thought it was great, and it was nice and torquey, and it went well, and I kept it for a while because I thought the 07 and 08 models looked a bit ordinary anyway. And then it was just, it's a company car, so it was time to change it basically, and I didn't want to go backwards because I knew the new one was 195 kilowatts, but I reckon I was about that anyway.
Yes.
So I wanted a bit more than that.
So obviously the previous car had an exhaust system only and some modifications to the engine bay with the hot earth kit.
Yes.
Why did you then choose to go for the complete package, like with what we've done on your car with the power kit, the XP power kit?
Well, I couldn't get the same arrangement that I had with the 06 model. So I was looking around for what other options were available for me. And really by accident, I went to a Subaru dealer who got your website up. Probably kindly for me, and
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it was a good thing, and so on my way back to the office I cruised past and came in and had a look at the XA and the XB kits, the XC kits, and away I went. It was too good to say no.
Now I remember when you first came in we were talking about what you had, because I think at that stage you actually hadn't got your 09 WRX, you were still driving your 06.
Yeah.
And you're a little bit surprised when I told you that the risk you'd taken by not tuning the factory ECU with the exhaust.
Yeah.
What was your reaction then about having driven the car for effectively 3 years, and what you voided your factory warranty without knowing it, you had worse fuel economy, and you didn't realise you're probably missing out on about 20 kilowatts of power because the ECU wasn't tuned to suit the exhaust? I mean, what were the thoughts going through your mind?
Well, I was a bit disappointed originally, going back to the original decision to get the car, because it was pretty much put to me that that was the best way of managing the additional power, and people who should have known better should have told me that I needed some changes to the ECU. Makes sense to me now, having you explaining it to me that day, that you started getting the exhaust out more freely, then you've got other things that you need to do to take advantage of that, making sure the car is safe. The
thing that we've spoken about, and briefly talk about it again here now, is obviously if you put a 3-inch exhaust on any car, the ECU thinks it's still got a normal exhaust and everything is tuned to suit that. So as soon as you open up the bigger exhaust, the boost changes, the fuel mixtures, the ignition time.
I didn't know. Yeah, well, it makes sense.
That's right. So we won't harp on the history. No. Let's talk about where we're going in the future.
Yep.
You've now had the car for
3,500 k's.
Yep. A couple of months.
Yep.
Effectively. Completely different result. What's your? I mean, I know when you picked up the car, I said, I know you have a big smile on your face.
Yeah.
What was your reaction after driving it?
I couldn't believe how fast you got into the engine cutout. And that's always been the test, isn't it, about how performance modifications, and it's...
now, that's a good thing, because it indicates to you how quick the car goes.
Yeah.
Because it's got the factory rev limiter still running standard, which means you just got to change the gears quicker because you're not used to how quick the car is.
Right. Yep. Reminded me of that famous clip on that you can get on YouTube about the bloke blasting along in that hot STI, and he's just constantly gear changing.
Yeah.
A bit like that, and because this car is 60 kilowatts more at the wheels than the old 06 with the bits and pieces on it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a lot of good power. That must be close to 100 old brake horsepower for old blokes such as myself.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, well working kilowatts these days here in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. But it was a ripper, and it's tractable down low. The dyno chart shows it's virtual linear power development. It doesn't have troughs or anything like that. It's also peak power just a bit below the maximum of the old car. So you don't have to run it into the rev limiter to get the power out of it, and very torquey around town. I just love it.
Yeah. What about, I mean, obviously you've got the sedan, not the hatch.
Yep.
Noise-wise, too loud, too quiet. I mean, we're here to talk about positive, but we get a lot of feedback from people such as yourself.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the exhaust note?
I thought it was a bit quiet at first, but that's because I was coming from something that wasn't. But, you know, I'm a respectable sort of bloke, and I can't go around looking like some kid with his baseball bat on the back of the front and a piece of guttering out the back of it. So, no, I'm happy with it now. It's still got a nice burble. It's still got a different note to the standard exhaust. Also looks better than the standard exhaust. Those twin pipes on the sedan look like they might as well be a Mazda 6 or something.
So the direct question, not too loud?
No, not loud at all. Not intrusive at all.
Well, you know, the amazing thing is, I had someone the other day actually say to me the car, where some people say, oh, it's too quiet, some people say it's too loud, but most often people say maybe a little bit too quiet. But our aim is to meet needs of people like yourself with an exhaust system, because you can always make it louder.
Look, you're absolutely right, and it's quite nice though to drive down the street and not have people turn around.
What about fuel economy?
Well, you never really worry about fuel economy, but I'm surprised how far I get on a tank. And I recently had a bit of a trip, so there was some, 60, 80, 110s in a bit of freeway, and I also had a great time on what I'd hoped was an unpatrolled road. So lots of, second, third...
I'm sure it was all within the speed limit.
Yeah, pretty much. But second, third or fourth red line stuff, and surprisingly, doing that with the old models and previous models, you could almost watch the fuel gauge go down. But seeing there was a bit of commuter in that as well, I ended up with 450 or 480 Ks on the tank and still a bit under a quarter.
Well, we get, on the models that got the fuel gauge with the feedback on how many litres per 100 Ks, it is common for us to get feedback of anywhere between 0 to, in some cases, up to 1 litre better fuel economy per 100 Ks, which is quite a massive improvement. Drivability, I mean, other people have driven the car yourself?
Yep, my wife's driven the car. She drives it harder than me sometimes, I think, and but she also enjoys it because you can drive it around like it is a tractable, easy little commuter car, and then put your foot into it and away it goes.
So she's comfortable.
Absolutely right.
Oh, that's good, because that's an important thing as well, because we know often we've got to meet the needs of our immediate clients, but also their partners. And it's common for us to get, I've now had my wife driving the car, and originally she wanted me to get rid of it, and now I'm allowed to keep it, particularly with the STIs, because they go so much better. Any future mods or any plans with the car?
Well, look, I don't think so. I think it's just pretty much right as it is, and I look forward to more trips in it, obviously, to take advantage of it, but it's just such an easy car to drive, and it's got the short shift gear change on it too.
That's right, that is a good thing.
So it's really sort of snap, snap, snap between the gears, and it feels good.
All right. And from a general feedback point of view, if you're talking to people out there, ultimately, how would you describe the overall situation of the relationship between us delivering you the brand new car versus getting the upgrade, the Subaru dealership and things like that? I mean, if you're on the other side there wondering about whether you're going to do what you've done, well, honestly, what's your feedback?
I'd be coming to see you first, and then it can become a seamless process after that. Look, it was just terrific for me because it basically cost, the XB kit cost about the same as what I'd spent on the previous car.
Right,
basically, but I had lots and lots of extra power. It was more tractable, and of course it was safer because it had the ECU changes as well. So I wasn't going to end up with the car spilling itself somewhere down the road. So
we're talking about the final decision, obviously, with the car and the factory warranty guarantee, which you thought you had but you didn't have. And now you've got it. Can you quantify what that, because a guarantee is something that you can't put your hands on. How do you...
Well, I can put my hand on it because if I didn't have the factory guarantee thing going for it, it wouldn't have been possible to have it as a company car. So that was a big deal for me. And if I'd have been buying it personally, I'd be comforted by that than thinking it was a risk.
All right, great. So there you have it. There's some great feedback from Ian. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
For more information, you can go to our website. You can review the MRT power kits on a whole range of different models, Mitsubishi, Subaru, and of course there's the upgrades from suspension and other improvements we can do. You can go to our forums, but of course, most importantly, we look forward to you giving us a text comment here on this video and give us your thoughts and feedback, because obviously that helps us a lot in providing you the information you want. And remember, you can get a whole heap of other info by following us on Twitter, the MRT Facebook profile, Flickr, and of course YouTube. So for the time being, I'm Brett Middleton. Thanks a lot for your time, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.